In this video, we're going to walk you through our Voice of the Customer Intelligence agent, what it is and how it can help your marketing team understand customer sentiment towards your brand. Agenda for this video, we're first going to look into what the Voice of the Customer Intelligence agent is, or VOC agent. What is it? How does it work? Then we're going to look into the architecture and technology behind it. Briefly, we're going to look at a generic agent, how that's different compared to our VOC agent, and then the types of questions you can ask the agent in order to get the most value from it. If you run a business, chances are you have customer generated content somewhere. That could be reviews, app store comments, if you have a mobile app, support tickets, surveys, social media comments, YouTube comments, TikTok comments, maybe even emails or live chat transcripts. All of that is customer feedback. The problem is they all sit in different places and in different formats. And in today's day and age, we simply can't manually read through hundreds or thousands of comments every week or month. That's where our VOC agent comes in. So the basic idea is simple. We take the customer feedback data, we bring it into one place, then we enrich it with useful context. So things like sentiment scores, intent labels, emotion labels, competitor mentions. Once that structure is in place, the AI agent can help users analyze what customers are saying and how they feel about the brand. Briefly going over some terminology. VOC simply means understanding what customers are saying in their own words. It's the language customers use when they talk about your product, your service, your pricing, your app, support, competitors, or their overall experience with your brand. Sentiment analysis means looking at that feedback and working out whether the customer is saying something positive, negative, neutral, or mixed. So how does it actually work? The agent isn't just reading text, it's reading the text plus context. That context is what helps the agent understand what the customer is talking about, what they mean, and how useful or serious that feedback is. Our first context file or table looks at different aspects. This tells the agent the main business areas we care about, things like price, product quality, delivery, customer service, onboarding, so on and so forth. So instead of the agent just saying this customer sounds unhappy, it can say that this customer is unhappy about billing, or this customer is unhappy about product reliability. Then we have an emotion table. This helps separate different types of feedback. For example, anger, frustration, joy, disappointment, confusion, trust, relief, or excitement. That matters because two negative comments aren't always the same. A confused customer might need better onboarding. An angry customer might need immediate attention. A disappointed customer might show a gap between what was promised and what was delivered. Our third context table is an entity table. So this is where we define the brand, products, services, competitors, and common aliases. For example, for this demo brand, we define things like Aurora Fitness, Aurora Bike, Aurora App, Aurora Ring, Plus, billing, support, delivery, and competitors like Velo, Garmin, and Apple Fitness. This is useful because customers don't always write things in a clean or consistent way. So one person might say Aurora Bike, another might say the bike, another might say the smart bike. The entity table helps the agent understand that these are talking about the same thing. It also helps with competitor mentions. So if someone compares Aurora to Velo or Garmin, the agent can pick that up more reliably. Our next context table is for intentions. This helps the agent understand what the customer is trying to do or communicate. For example, are they complaining? Are they praising the brand? Are they asking for help? Are they requesting a refund? Are they talking about cancelling? Are they recommending the product, or are they comparing us to a competitor? Last but not least, we have our source mapping context. This tells the agent where the feedback came from. For example, Instagram, Facebook, Google reviews, Trustpilot, so on and so forth. There are two fields used to describe the conversation's shape. So you have a field called contains threading. Essentially what that means is, do messages group into a conversation, like a ticket or a comment section? And then there's the field called contains parent-child relationship. And what that means is, does each reply point to what it's answering? These tell the pipelines whether to rebuild reply trees or treat each row as a standalone feedback. Users access the VOC agent through a Gemini interface. At the bottom, we have the prompt box, very similar to what you see in Gemini or ChatGPT. This is where the user asks normal business questions. On the left, we have the chat history. This is where users can go back to previous conversations and continue their analysis. And on the right, we have the knowledge sources. These are the BigQuery tables the agent has access to. We also give the agent clear instructions. This is where we tell it how to behave, which tables to use, how to answer, what to show, and what to be careful with. For example, if a piece of feedback is marked for human review, the agent shouldn't treat it like a final answer. It should flag it for human review in its response. So if we compare a generic agent, which hasn't got all the bells and whistles that the VOC agent has, it can still be useful. It can read raw text, classify feedback as it goes, and give you a summary, but it's harder to audit and harder to repeat consistently. The VOC agent has more structure behind it. It uses prepared sentiment data, competitor tracking, risk flags, and cleaner marketing signals. Generic agent is helpful at first pass. The VOC agent is built for more reliable customer intelligence. Here's the architecture and tech stack. We grab raw data and land it in BigQuery using Python. From the raw data, we extract any customer or user generated text into a clean set of tables. We then enrich the text data with our context tables we discussed earlier. We then build a final data model that uses BigQuery's managed AI functions to pre-compute each item's overall sentiment and sentiment score once when the data lands. Our VOC agent then just reads those saved values instead of recomputing them on every question, which is what keeps costs down. In terms of tooling, we use Python and BigQuery data transfer for ingestion of raw data, BigQuery for data warehousing, dbt for building, testing data models for data transformations within BigQuery, and Gemini in BigQuery as the AI agent. At this point, once the data is connected and the agent has the right context, users can start asking practical questions. Which channels are improving or getting worse? Who are customers comparing us to and why? Which positive quotes are safe to use in campaigns? What are the biggest negative feedback themes? What feedback needs a human to review? Where should marketing or product focus next? That is the voice of the customer intelligence, using the power of data and AI to better understand your viewers and customers in order to make better, more informed decisions.